So much stuff on the other tab. So I'm going to answer lots of different comments people have made, all in one. And there we go. I've saved some of my washing up. I've got one of those. So I'll do that. I haven't got the setup that I would have because obviously I have a dishwasher. But here we go. That will do for my bowl. I don't have a draining rack, but that's actually what I use for glasses when I do hand wash glasses, because some of my glasses, I'm not putting those in the dishwasher. The stems will break and they're quite fine. So, but I do most of my glasses. Now, the first thing to remember is this. That's washing up liquid. That's rinse aid. The same chemical does different things in different dilutions. This is used in your dishwasher as a very final rinse, and it is in the last rinse. And what it's used for is as a wetting agent, so that the water runs off. So all of you who are saying, oh, but you've got soap on your dishes. If you use a dishwasher, for the same reason that you might have that, you'd think that you will have this, because this is what goes over to stop making watermarks. It's not that dissimilar. Now, this, when I squirt it onto my coconut fibre sponge, that is what will work as a soap. And it will disrupt the fat, not just dissolve the grease from dishes, it will also disrupt the fat and bacteria and get rid of them. But when it's used in dilution in a bowl of hot water, it acts as a wetting agent. It performs exactly the same function as that does. And what it does, it makes the water wetter and everything comes off, the water slides off the plates and everything that's in it sinks to the bottom. Okay? This has got other things in it to make it work better as a dishwasher, but ultimately, that's what you're looking at. So let me show you how washing up, if you do it this way, will work. Right, this is going to take a while, and this chest harness is not easy to... Firstly, I put my water on so that the hot comes through, and I put my gloves on. Now, in here, I put a squirt of washing up liquid. That's not a lot, is it? That's probably about, I don't know, not even 10 mil. That's going to get hot water in it. Now, I want to wash my glass, and my glass has lipstick round the edge. So I'm going to put a bit of soap on here. And this is what I do with the bowl at the end. I'm using the detergent, the synthetic detergent that is not soap and doesn't have sodium hydroxide in it, on the outside, and then I'm rinsing it off. So, where's a glass? I haven't got a glass, I've got this cup thing that my daughter uses. So, I wash it like that, soap on the sponge. There we go. This is a really difficult harness to use, right? And then because I'm still filling my bowl, it's falling down. I rinse it like that onto the dryer, right? Now, cups and stuff, how hot is this? Not actually very hot. I think one of my daughters turned the water down. I must turn it up. Right. It's got a wetting agent, right? Can you see how quickly those bubbles run off? Now, in this dilution, this is working much the same, oh God, I can't do this, as that rinse aid. How much liquid do you think is on there by the time this is drained off? Not a lot of liquid will be left on there. This water is really not very hot. I don't know what temperature she's put that up, but still, it should be hotter than that. That's not, I could put my hand in that. So, but you start with things like glasses, and then I do rinse them as the bowl is filling. Then I work on things like cups. Then I would go on to things like cereal bowls, which aren't particularly dirty, and they would get washed off, for example there, right? And as you can see, there's not a lot left on them, is there? Right? Then I would move on things like knives. Never immerse a knife. Always wipe it that way. Keep the blade away from you. Right? Like that. Then I would move on and do... I'm not going to do this. My harness keeps... greasy things like plates. Now, if once the bubbles go, or start to go, and this water looks dirty, you throw it away and you use more. And then when people are asking about tea towels, this is a clean, all right? It's come straight out the drawer. They get used. I don't wash up, so I don't tend to use them very often. Then, with your clean cloth, you dry them and you polish them off. Now, any remaining water is wiped off then, and this is dry. So you've got no more of that left on it than you have of that if you use it in the dishwasher. And if you do use straight detergent on your sponge, which is in there, you would rinse it off under the tap. But you can feel and see, look, there's no trace. Can you see my finger on there? There's no trace of smearing or soapiness or dirt on that. Out there, bloody thing. Here, my cereal bowl. If the water, I mean, this water could be hotter and this should be almost dry by now, but it's not, so I'm going to use a tea towel. There we go. It's not, there's not food and soap stuck to it. If you've got food and soap stuck to it, you're either not changing your water properly or you're not rinsing off your dishes, because that's the other reason we use a bowl. Look. Oh, look, I don't want that in my washing up water. Oh, bloody harness is a pain in the arse. I need to sort this. So, I can rinse that. And then it goes in there. You see? That was a very bad demonstration because it turned out my water wasn't very hot. And this, keep doing that because you can see the weight of my phone pull. Anyway, now, the other thing, please, to bear in mind with all of this is that there are cultural differences. You know, I mean, a lot of the traveller girls on here will insist that you put a bit of bleach in your water. And I think that comes from communities where there is no potable water. So as an extra layer of security, you absolutely do it. But you can just kind of see it's not like we're smearing soap on and leaving it on. That's a very diluted solution. One of the reasons that you want it so hot is A, it helps the dishes to dry off, for the water to slide off and dry off quickly. Ideally, you want it so hot that you don't need one of those, as it happens I did. These are clean. You don't just keep using the same one. You know, you do wash them. It's like somebody moaned about dishcloth. I tend to use, if I'm doing it, one of those, that's a Coke. It's been under the sink for about 2 years. My dishcloth. I don't often use my dishcloth on dishes, but this is soaked in bleach at least once a day. When I clean my sink down, the last thing I do is wring out my dishcloths because I use them for washing, you know, for wiping down all my sides and everything. The last thing I do is put them to soak in the bottom of my sink in some bleach, and I just leave them there for, you know, I mean, at least an hour, but quite often they're there overnight. So